This is a story that I would like to share with you. I remember it so well. So well, like it was just happened yesterday. But really, it happened many years ago when I was a young student at Gallaudet. It started when I went back to New York for the summer. It was after my first year at Gallaudet. I was looking for the entire month of June looking for a job, but I was having no luck finding a job. And it was really because there were so many students like myself looking for work at the same time. I was starting to get really frustrated because every time I would go into an office and ask for an application, they'll say, no, just look at me, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, there's no openings. So one morning, I was reading the newspaper and I saw this advertisement for a dishwasher at a summer camp. I'm like, this should be good. I can be a dishwasher, that's fine. So I was starting to get excited. So I went to the office. It was on 42nd Avenue. I was the first one to arrive. So I filled out the application. I just stood there and waited. Finally, the secretary told me I can come in. So I went in. There was a man standing there with black rimmed glasses. I think he was the boss. So he read over I gave him my application. He read it over and he started talking to me. And so I told him I needed to explain to him that I was deaf. I can't hear. I don't hear very well. He's saying, what? I'm like, I'm deaf. So he says, oh. So he points to the door. So I follow his directions. Go out the door. Go through and close it. And I found myself in the hall by the elevator. And it's the same one I took up here. He just sent me off that quick. He didn't even let me explain myself. So I got on the elevator, and as I'm going down, I started to feel really down. He didn't even let me explain my situation, that I could do this job well. There's no requirement of hearing to be a dishwasher. So I got out the elevator, got on the street, people just walking by, brushing past me, pushing me, going around me. And it's hot, I'm starting to sweat, and I'm walking. Then I just stop and think. If I give up this easy, without trying, I wouldn't get very far in life if I continued to do this. So I thought it was better that I go back and explain myself. So I turned around, went back in, got on the elevator, and while I'm on the elevator, I'm writing a note all the way to the top. So I get off, and the secretary tried to stop me, but I just went in. Went straight in, gave him the note. Gave the man the note. And he sent me out. I said, no. I'm not reading till you read this note. So he read it. And he explained that I could do the job. I could be a dishwasher. I didn't really need to hear to be able to do the job. And as you can see, I was strong, so I was capable. So he was reading, and then he asked me to sit down, and I sat down, and he asked if I could lip read, and I'm like, well, a little bit. So he saw that I can talk, and then after a little while of interviewing, I got the job. I couldn't wait to arrive to the summer camp. Oh, I never forget the day I arrived at the summer camp. It was beautiful. It was in Massachusetts, and it was trees everywhere. Just a beautiful place to be. I was so excited to work, to be a dishwasher. So I'm getting the dishes and I'm washing. And I have to confess, I hate washing dishes, but I needed to make a living. So for about a month, I was working really hard like a horse. And then finally one day, a camp counselor asked for a volunteer for help the farmers gathering hay. So I volunteered. I was first. I really wanted to do it. But really, I just wanted to get out of the kitchen washing dishes. So the next morning, I went with the group and we started shoveling the hay. And we were putting on a wagon and bringing it back to the barn that was, on the other side of the field. So I was working all day, working and shoveling. Oh, my hands were so sore. They were cut and bruised and blisters, and they were all yellow. But I kept working, didn't complain, just kept working, shoveling hay. And then around noon, we stopped for lunch. So y'all sat down, ate our lunch. And after lunch, I was so tired that I went and sat by a tree and just to rest for a second. Next thing I know, I wake up and I found out I saw that I was alone. Everyone had went back to working. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm late. So I run back over there, pick up my pitchfork, and I see the manager standing over me, scolding me like, what am I doing? And now he's taunting me. Just like that. So I stood and I looked at him. And my first thought, I was frustrated and I was just going to turn around and walk out. But then I thought, I'll just let it go. I won't even say anything. And then I kept on working. So I turned around, started back shoveling the hay, and building up big piles of hay, and moving it, and then shoveling more, and back on the wagon. And so then I started seeing a bunch of black clouds, like it's about to rain any minute. So we all had to hurry and get the rest of the hay on the wagon and go to the barn before it started raining. So I started working, shoveling really fast, and I got to the barn, and the manager told everyone but me to go on the loft and stand there and catch the hay, and they would shovel it up, and then I would separate it. And so it was coming at me, and it was coming so fast, like they were doing it so fast, like I didn't just doing it really fast, and it was really hard for me to separate it, and then there's dust flying, and I'm coughing and choking, and they're just still coming at me. And then I see the manager, he's enjoying this. He's purposely doing it fast. And I think for a second, like, I just can't do this anymore. I just want to give up. But then he told me that that was enough and I could switch and he'll take my place. So I got off the loft and I get back out in the fresh air. Then I was ready to get back at it. So now it's my turn and I'm shoveling faster and faster and faster. And he can't keep up, like hay is just coming at him and it's going all over him, and I'm just going faster and faster and faster. And finally we're finished and there's no more hay. And then it just starts raining. Horrible. There's lightning and thunder. And all I do was tumble over because I'm so tired, right on the ground, and let the rain just fall on me. And I stayed there for a minute till finally I woke up. I opened my eyes and I got back up, wiped off the rain. And then I saw the manager standing there with a hat on, smoking a cigarette. And he kind of nods for me to come over. So I did. And he just lays his hand on my shoulder. I felt like I was a knight and he was giving me my sword. And that was kind of my badge of honor. So I just walked away with pride